Craig.
Fake Craig.
Fake Craig.
2.0.
Alright, guys, welcome back to Spectated. This is episode, I don't even know. I lost count.
We'll figure it out one day.
When these are actually posted, we'll get back on track.
Yeah.
I forgot even what we talked about last episode, honestly. All sports. Yeah,
updates.
Sports.
Yeah,
I got
just everything update, pretty much.
And now, here's we got a brief update here.
Weekly Texans Deshaun update.
Yeah, Deshaun is planning on suing if the NFL gives him over a year or more suspension as a form of discouragement, because they're going to have to go through this entire process all over again, basically. And then on top of that, the Texans running back Darius Anderson was arrested for burglary with intent to rape.
What's going on down there in Texas, bro?
Texans settled all their lawsuits with Deshaun, and then the running back goes, hold up.
Somebody needs to be a sexual predator on the team.
True.
How can they function without one?
I think we might just need to wipe Houston off the map.
I don't think very many people would be upset with that proposition.
Even people in Houston.
I was going to say, at least half the people in Houston would also support that.
Oh, alright.
But, no, dude, what is going on out there? I don't get it, man.
Oh, no, dude. It's so weird. Browns taking one of their sex offenders while they already took the Chiefs' wife beater. Kareem Hunt kicking his wife. Oh my god, dude. I swear, the NFL just needs to go through, people's criminal records. And,
it's so weird.
You kicked your wife? Alright, you can still play. You'll just get suspended and traded.
I feel like this is, obviously it happens in other sports, but it seems like, maybe it's recency bias as well, but it seems to me that, the NFL is just, has a lot more of these types of things happening.
Aggressive crimes.
Yeah. Where there's, either there's a lot of, wife beaters, children beaters, sexual misconduct, right? Or, I can think of, a few cases in other sports, but not nearly to the level.
I think it's just
as football players.
I think football is a very aggressive sport, and you have to really impose yourself on other people, and it has become basically the way of living for everyone in the NFL. So I feel like that
it's still just it just still feels weird. I guess
I agree.
You know what I mean, because you have. I don't know, a good example would be basketball, where there's a lot of players who are quote-unquote thugs, right? They play kind of hood ball, right? Or they come in with that mentality that they're an aggressive player, that they're somebody who's going to play dirty and wants to
Question that one.
Yeah, pretty much. Purposely injure you. But then as soon as the game's over, they just drop that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't go home and, beat their wife or anything. Obviously it probably has happened. I can't think of any right now, but it just seems way more common.
Yeah, but football is also much more aggressive.
Yeah.
Of a sport.
But then you also have sports, hockey and stuff, which I would say is
even MMA and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. MMA, rugby, for example. And I feel you don't really hear too much from those either.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know if it's just something that's kind of just a bad part of football culture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel that even starts in high schools and colleges. There's especially colleges, there is a lot of sexual misconduct. A lot. I mean, we have to fucking sit through 80 hours of seminars every semester, pretty much.
Yeah.
Talking about that stuff.
Yeah. Even like with not sexual misconduct, it's like the players who haven't like done anything criminal with sexual misconduct, a lot of them have like, it's reported that like Baker Mayfield slept with like over 600 girls in college. So it's like you are literally imposing yourself.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not criminally or aggressively, which, in that case, it's consensual, so it is what it is. But like when it gets to Deshaun Watson, Ben Roethlisberger levels,
yeah,
it is a problem. Or Kareem Hunt on the opposite spectrum, like physically kicking his wife.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta remember like Adrian Peterson a couple years ago with this kid.
Yeah, but then
Mike Vick, dog rings, like.
But then Calvin Ridley gets kicked out for a year. He gets a year suspension because he gambled. He bet on his team while he was on injured reserve. Like he wasn't playing.
Sicko.
Henry Ruggs is in jail and absolutely deserves to be because he was driving like 120 miles an hour while drunk and killed someone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, good. There's no conceivable way he should have been able to get away with that.
For sure.
But yeah, it is definitely the sport that this stuff seems to be most common in.
Yeah, it's just sad.
It is. Anyway. And not so subtle, move on to the main topic. We decided on ranking MCU phases.
Yeah.
Because, like, doing a ranking of every single movie just in general
would take forever.
Yeah. I think there's like 26, 27 movies now.
Yeah, something like
not
that.
Not including shows, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much.
There's quite a few.
There's definitely too much. Very hot take that people are bound to hate on me for. Looking back at this and like looking over the movies and like ranking them or like grading them, MCU has always been kind of mid. There's definitely standout movies in each phase. Like, example, like, spoilers for my list or whatever, but Iron Man 1 in Phase 1 stands out. Phase 2, you have, like, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy. Phase 3 is definitely the most, like, there's not a lot that are, like, low ranking.
Yeah.
But... It's never been like, oh yeah, all the movies are good. It's consistently good. It is really like just you think of the good ones. Like you think of Civil War or Infinity War. You don't really think of Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2.
That's my
Iron
favorite
Man
one. What do you mean?
True. That is my favorite, dude.
I love Thor: The Dark World.
People are saying they're going better than it's better than Love and Thunder. It's like. I didn't care for Love and Thunder that much, but I wouldn't go that
Dark
far.
It was a little silly.
Yeah, it had its moments, but like that's it. I can think of two moments.
Yeah. No, we were talking about a little bit before the podcast, but I was saying like, yeah, I agree. Like looking back now, I definitely like looking through the phases, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of midness. There's a lot of midness in Marvel that I guess, like, I think earlier on, pretty much up until, like, towards the end of Phase 3, I would have said that overall Marvel was, like, good to, like, really good. And now looking back, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. It's decent.
It's pretty decent.
It is decent.
And so, I mean, yeah, and then, obviously there's incredible movies.
Yeah,
but there's some stinkies in there. There's some stinkers.
There's definitely some stinkers, and it's like I don't know, especially like early like Phase 3 and stuff, they got is when you had the most people like just absolutely just belittling DC movies.
Yeah.
And then like praising MCU and stuff. It's like now looking at it, they're
kind of reversing. Like it's starting to reverse again for sure.
First of all, yes, they are definitely reversing. Like with the Batman, and then
Batman, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and compared to Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness. But like looking at both of them as like a whole now, they're pretty much in like the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, DCU just doesn't have nearly the quantity of movies either.
Yeah, and it's also
like
not
it's
even a cinematic universe at this point anymore.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, it's hard to...
Ezra Miller's gonna fix it all. He's
True.
gonna kidnap someone, throw a chair at a lady in Hawaii, and fix it all.
He's gonna fix it all. It's all about the Speed Force, baby.
True. Ezra Miller needs to go to the NFL with those with that mentality.
Actually, insane.
Actual menace. Anyway, that being said, do you want to go right into it?
Yeah. So do you want? How do you want it to go by? The way I have my list set up is worst to best phases.
Yeah.
And then within the phase, the worst and best movie.
What I have is worst to best, and then I have like the best 3 and the worst 3.
So movies within it. Okay.
Yeah. So like
and then
the
we
ones
can generally talk about the phase as a whole.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I also have like all the movies in each phase written down with their percentages, but yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay. What do you have as your worst phase? I think we'll probably agree on this. Maybe.
I have. It's technically a little bit tied. What the difference is? One of them I had to round down. The other one I had rounded up. So, the unfortunate lesser phase is phase 1.
Phase 1?
Mm-hmm. It's at 66%. Because looking at it, it has 6 movies, right?
Yeah.
You have Iron Man. I gave it a... So, like, the best... It only has the best 3 and the worst 3. That is all it has in its phase. Iron Man's a 79. Captain America and Avengers are both at 70. And then Hulk is at 54. Iron Man 2 is at 59. And Thor's at 60. So it's like those... It's really those... Like, Thor doesn't really do anything. It doesn't bring it down or up.
Yeah.
But, like, those other 2 movies kind of, make it divot.
I guess. I don't know. I disagree on that one, I think. I had it as... I mean, spoilers. Like,
yeah.
That was my... I think the second best
phase
is what I had. I had it close with 2. I almost had 2 above it, but now I have that as the second best phase. Like, obviously it's short, but I feel like just overall, like, really the only awful movie was the Hulk, I think. Of that phase.
Iron Man 2 was pretty... They're both, like...
Okay, yeah, Iron Man 2's not great.
It's definitely
it's
watchable.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then, like, Iron Man 1 is one of my favorites, probably, like, top 4. The Avengers, definitely, like...
Avengers...
Top 6, 7.
Like, going back and looking at it, the problem is, like, the cinematography looks like it's, like, Seinfeld.
Yeah,
if you look at it for the plot, like, on its own, like, as its own movie, like, character development non-existent, plot's barely there, like, it is meant to be a fulfillment thing similar as Endgame.
Yeah.
So it's like ranking it high up would be like ranking Endgame, like, super high.
Yeah.
Which I don't really feel. Like, the enjoyability is definitely there for both of those, but, like, other than that,
I guess
not
so.
as much.
I don't know. I just thought overall the phase was a lot more solid than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
For me. Because, like, obviously it came out to a scorching hot start with Iron Man.
True.
Hulk, like, barely counts as even an MCU movie.
No one watches it, that's true.
Yeah, Iron Man 2. not that good.
It's like the best two movies are like Captain America and Avengers.
But I mean, even like the first Thor was pretty.
It was
pretty
it was
decent.
definitely all right.
Captain America 1, pretty good. And Avengers, it's still good.
Yeah,
It's still an enjoyable movie.
yeah, definitely.
I just thought like looking at it as a whole, it was hard for me to find like a lot of negatives with it. Where like pretty much every other phase has some like really glaring negatives.
That's true. That is
That's the only reason I ranked it so high.
Yeah,
Not because it shines brighter than any of the other phases, but because it doesn't darkness is bad. You know what I mean? Well, no, I was trying to say past tense shine.
Yeah, no, I got you. But it was just funny because you went through the same two words like 3 times.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out which one's right. What is it? What is the past tense of shine?
Shined brighter.
Is it?
Shined. Yeah.
That just sounds wrong to me.
Shone.
Yeah, I was right.
Shined. Shone. Shined.
Yeah, the stars shone dimly. That's what I was saying. I was like, shone. It's shone.
Shone sounds weird though.
And that's what I know. That's why I was like, I was second guessing because I said it. I'm like, it didn't
Yeah.
shone as bright. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just say? But okay, apparently that's right. But either way, you get my point. Where like,
Yeah.
Its peaks weren't as high as the other phases, but also its valleys were not nearly as low.
Yeah,
which is the only reason I put it at the second best phase.
Yeah, as a phase, I gave it a 66%, which is like a little bit above right in the middle of decent. That's really what it is, and for that very reason, nothing really stands out like for being good or like notorious. It's like Hulk and Iron Man 2 are just like pretty forgettable, and that's really it. That's all it really is about it. That's like that comes to mind about bad things, and Iron Man is really the only thing that stands out positively. So, it's just
I get that for sure.
yeah. So that's why it's ranked at 4.
That's fair. Okay, so I'll do my worst phase. I think is the current one, phase 4. Yeah. Is that what you had at 3? I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're both at 66.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was figuring you were gonna have as your last place. But yeah, I mean, jumping into it, like I haven't seen the Eternals or Black Widow, but that's because I don't want to watch them.
Those two and What If are listed as my worst in the phase. Yeah. It's
I said basically like those ones. I haven't seen them, so I can't say. Of the ones I've seen, probably Multiverse of Madness was pretty bad. Obviously, like I thought Shang-Chi was really good. That was my favorite of Phase 4 so far. I thought that movie had just really good fight scenes.
Yeah, the CGI wasn't as bad as some of the other CGI in Phase 4 too.
Yeah.
Like
But
it definitely had its moments, but like oh my god, like Multiverse of Madness.
It was rough. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that's the reason I have it at the worst, because like there's just no high points for me. The only high point was really like Shang-Chi, and pretty much every other movie has just been meh at best.
Yeah. Yeah, it's put at 60. So it's at 66% too. To get exact, phase 1 was 65.5, so it rounded up to 66. This was 66.25. So it's like not really a lot better. And it's really the best movies in it are what elevated it. Because like the 3 best I put is like this is the shows and the movies, but Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, and No Way Home.
Yeah, I see. I wasn't including the TV shows.
Yeah, I included them just because like they are really the bulk of this phase.
Phase 4 so far.
Yeah, because I mean
that makes more sense. I think if you were just doing the movies, I think you'd agree that's the worst phase.
Oh yeah, because like here, looking at just the movies, I put Black Widow at 60, Eternals at 50, WandaVision's a show. Shang-Chi's 60, or not 60, sorry, 76. Multiverse of Madness is 60. Love and Thunder 64, and No Way Home is a 78.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just been like No Way Home and Shang-Chi are the only like good movies. Everything else has just been meh to bad.
Yeah, definitely. Love and Thunder, I just watched it recently, and like I had seen a bunch of clips and stuff, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I put it at like a 64. It has good moments.
Yeah,
it definitely has some good moments. But then like, there's also a lot of them that's like, what? Like, spoiler, but like, when Gore gets Stormbreaker, it's like he literally could just opened his hand and summoned it back.
No.
Like,
No.
No,
he couldn't have. You're wrong.
True. He forgot how.
Thor says, I give you all my powers.
True.
What? Okay. No, It was just rough. It's rough. It really, to me, is like a shining example of why the MCU is kind of doomed now. Because they have to just keep... Like, there's just such a bad power scaling issue now. Where they have to introduce... Like, everything they introduce has to be universe ending, pretty much, at this point, right? For it to be...
Yeah, because like...
For it to be watch, you know what I mean? For it to, the stakes to be high. But then in doing that, it's like, where were these things or people or characters during the other... when Thanos was trying to wipe out the universe, you know? Like, where is this... the City of the Gods spoilers or whatever, right? So these are like omnipotent beings where literally half of them get wiped out by Thanos and the other half are just like, we will chill. You know what I mean? Like, it, it's just like when they introduce new things like that, it just
they also
hurts the MCU backwards in retrospect.
I mean, they kind of explained it though. Like Zeus says that they take care of their own like worshippers or whatever, and that's it. They don't like Asgardian problems are Asgardians problems.
I guess, but it's like something like that impacts everyone.
True.
Like include, but you got to think, right? That would include half of the gods being.
Yeah,
eliminated.
but like, how do you look at Chris Hemsworth's ass in it and not give it a 10 out of 10?
Real shit.
I mean, come on.
Real shit. I wish they used Christian Bale more, man.
True. He was good in it.
He had like no screen time.
It was definitely like an average movie. The plot wasn't really there, but like some of the scenes that the plot was more relevant in were like the better scenes in the movie. But like Jane cracking jokes about having cancer, it's like, what?
Yeah.
When have you ever cracked jokes ever in anything?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean that's just definitely because of Taika Waititi is more of a comedic.
Yeah, he
director.
definitely Taika Waititi too much in this though.
I agree.
Because like
I think it was
he made Ragnarok and it's like brilliant.
Yeah, Ragnarok was really good because it was fresh. But this, like, I felt like it didn't do a good balance of seriousness with humor. It felt like every serious moment was just interjected with, like Seinfeld humor, or like just around like laugh track level humor.
The only times I like legitimately laughed, the funniest part was like Zeus going, "Who's talking?" and Korg just immediately outed them. That was the best moment.
No.
It's like, so overall, yeah, meh movie, meh phase, not that great. Even like the best stuff, like Moon Knight, 78%, doesn't even breach 80.
Oh.
Right. No Way Home, huge hype, huge enjoyability, but like, Overall, it's just good.
Yeah, it's just the same problem as like Endgame.
Pretty much.
Really good the first time you watch it. Every subsequent viewing, not nearly as good.
Watching it alone, so cringy with the pauses and stuff that they saved for Cheers. Yeah, so far, just like it's decent kind of phase, especially like with the shows and stuff.
I mean, let's see what's coming up. It says so we got Black Panther,
Yeah,
Ant-Man 3, Guardians 3, and the Marvels
oh my gosh,
are what's confirmed and has release dates. Which none of them I'm really looking forward to.
yeah.
I think the only one I'll go out of my way to see is probably Guardians 3, where like I know I'll see it, and I'll probably only watch the other ones if I hear it's good.
It's like Ant-Man. The problem is like the first Ant-Man was like it was good.
Yeah.
Ant-Man in other things like the Avengers and stuff, good.
Oh yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, I hate it, dude.
Oh no, it's like a bottom 4, bottom
Like,
5 for sure.
It is just not that good. It's not good.
It's rough. It's rough.
And it's like spoiler.
I mean, yeah. I
Spoiler.
have it as like my worst movie.
Yeah, spoiler, but like Phase 3, it's like really the only movie that's like bad. I think it like bad.
No, I completely agree.
Like it's like Captain Marvel is like I'm not a fan of. Enjoyability is like low and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like it has some redeeming qualities. Ant-Man and the Wasp, like there's really none.
It's just bad.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to do your number 3?
So I have Phase 2. So my worst phase has been the current one. I'm doing movies only. So I think that the second worst phase, or like the third phase, would be Phase 2. Which, you know, like this was hard for me to differentiate between Phase 1 and Phase 2. Because, you know, like you said with Phase 1, or what we talked about before, is like, you know, the peaks of Phase 1 just weren't as good.
Yeah.
But the valleys weren't as bad. Where Phase 2, I felt like, had way worse valleys. Even though it has The Winter Soldier, which is arguably my favorite movie in the entire MCU. You know, definitely top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And Guardians 1, which I absolutely love. Ant-Man 1, which was good. But it's just like, the valleys. So like those are some peaks, right? Those are some big peaks. But then the valleys, you got Iron Man 3, Thor, The Dark World,
Best movie ever, dude. What are you talking about?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
It's a little sussy. So that's why like I ranked it lower than Phase 1, is because like Phase 1, you know, like I said, the Hulk. Can we even count it, really?
True.
But then, like, the worst movie would be, like, Iron Man 2. Or, like, The Avengers. And it's like, those aren't even bad movies. But, like, Thor the Dark World? Bad. Age of Ultron?
Yeah, Thor the Dark World.
Iron Man 3? Nah.
Thor the Dark World, I have at a 50%, which is, like, the worst movie. Second worst thing total, What If is at 49%. So, like...
But no, yeah, that's why I put Phase 2 so low. You know, it sucks because, like, obviously, you know, Winter Soldier, like I said, fucking amazing movie. Guardians 1, really good movie. Definitely another top 5 for me.
Yeah, no, looking at my list, like, my number 2 is Phase 2. It's at 68%. Winter Soldier and Guardians literally just carry it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're just fantastic movies.
Yeah, like, Thor the Dark World really drags it down. Iron Man 3 is at, like, a 60. It's, like, barely decent. Age of Ultron, I put it, like, a 64. It's, like, about the same as, like, Love and Thunder. Like, Ant-Man's a 74. Guardians is a 77. Winter Soldier is, like, an 80. It is literally carried by Guardians and Winter Soldier for me.
Yes.
So yeah, those valleys are low, but like the mountains are high enough that you still they basically redeem.
Yeah, that's why it was hard for me to differentiate between which one I wanted at 2 and which one I wanted at 3.
Yeah,
because like between them, it was just tough. It's like, do I go with consistency is better more so, or do I go with the higher peaks carry it?
Yeah.
And so like I just decided that the consistency deserves to be up higher.
Yeah.
Even though the peaks in Phase 2 are far better.
And this is what I mean when I said like MCU is overall like not that great.
Yeah, it's just
because like 3 of these like 4 phases have been in the 60%, and my number 1 is barely in the 70s. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's overall it's like it's decent to like pretty good. Like it really, in retrospect, you get a really good glimpse at that. Which is kind of unfortunate. Cause, God, dude, it definitely could have been better. And maybe it's time that they slow down, especially with Phase 4.
I agree. I know we've talked about it time and time again, but it's just like they really need to just kind of reset and try to, not a completely new identity, but you know what I mean? Like, start some fresh characters, start some fresh storylines. Like, let's slow it down. Bring it back to more of these Phase 1 type movies. Let's have, like, an Iron Man 1 type movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just, like, a character story. And I think that's why I liked Shang-Chi so much, too, is because it was kind of just, like, a little more isolated. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of, for the most part, its own little story, which I enjoyed, where most of everything else in Phase 4 is still just kind of piggybacking off of other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not landing that well.
Some of the shows do the same thing, like Loki obviously isolated itself by being in a different universe.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was like a lot more grounded. It wasn't like world ending. It was just like a group of terrorists took like a modern day superhero serum that like doesn't change their body or anything, so they can blend in.
True.
Hawkeye was it was a lot lower stakes. It was New Girl wants to be Hawkeye, basically. Like and those are the better things in it, like Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot better, but like the problem is that Phase 1, 6 movies. Phase 2, 6 movies.
Yeah.
Phase 3, 11 movies. That's a lot. Phase 4, we are at 11 things, and there's not a clear end in sight.
Because like I said, there's already 5, like, in development, like, with release dates scheduled, and then another...
Yeah, you still have, like, things like Secret Wars, you have things...
Yeah, they have, like, another Deadpool, another Captain America, another Shang-Chi, Blade movie, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that haven't been, confirmed yet, but are like...
yes, they have been confirmed, just like development and
but they haven't like
stuff. Yeah,
they haven't like they're not.
Yeah, so no clear end of the phase in sight. Yeah. We're at.
I mean, you got like right. There's still in minimum just this phase. There is still with dates 4 movies, 4 more movies coming out.
So
which is already putting it whatever
15 would be 15 shows and movies at minimum in this phase. Yeah. We're talking more. We're probably talking like in the 20s for Phase 4. There is way too much.
Yeah, probably.
They're literally taking their own fan base and wearing them out. Yeah. Like, people are they're leaving because there's too much going on. Like, yeah, so if they want to explore, like, the multiverse and stuff like that, cool, fantastic. don't do things like Black Widow, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Eternals, Hawkeye, Love and Thunder, like Moon Knight. Don't do those.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that have the multiverse, use those.
Yeah.
Like, pick one.
Yeah.
Because you're doing too much.
No, it's definitely weird, and I think, and that's what I was saying when it was like looking back in retrospect, Marvel seems more just mid overall, MCU, but like experiencing it was so much cooler because it was like, you know, we get what, 2 movies a year for 5, 6, 7 years, you know, that's what it was like. We get 2 Marvel movies a year, and that was it. Like that was all we got. And that was good. Yeah. It kept people wondering. It kept people talking. It kept people invested. Mm-hmm. Because they weren't getting worn out. Now, we get something Marvel once every 2 months on average.
Yeah,
and it's like... much. You know what I mean? That's like more than triple what we got. And so it's like... It's just hard to keep people's attention when it's like... Well, you know, like what we've said, like I haven't even seen most of these shows because it's like I can't keep up with this stuff.
Yeah,
there's all these shows I can't keep up with what's going on anymore.
Phase 1 started in 2008 and it ended in 2012.
Yeah, exactly. 6 movies over 4 years.
Yeah, Phase 2 started in, I want to say Iron Man 3 started like 2013.
2013 to 2015. So it was like 2 years to do 6 movies.
So 3 movies a year.
Yeah,
So yeah. It was still
all
right.
And that was about the same for Phase 3.
So
about
you're talking
3-ish movies.
Every 4 months there was a movie for 2 years. Like okay,
and that was pretty much the same for Phase 3. Looking at it, it was roughly that.
Which you know is definitely more, but like it's still enough of a gap.
It's still maintainable. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta think, right? Phase 4 started in 2021. It started literally a year ago. Black Widow. Literally a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in a week. And what did we just say? 11 already?
11 already.
In a year. That's literally one Marvel thing a month.
Mm-hmm.
We were going from, at the peak of like Phase 3, like one thing every like 3.5 months. Every 4 months, right?
Yeah.
To literally one a month. And that's after Marvel peaked, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Where it's like they hit their Infinity War, they hit their Endgame, they wrapped up the huge, what they've been building up, and then instead of just taking it back a step and slowing down, they said, nope. Slammed on the fucking accelerator, sent their fucking Mazda Miata 400 miles off a cliff. I don't get it.
Money. We need Disney Plus subscription.
They do.
And give me money. Yeah, so it's like...
I mean, I do... That probably is part of it, too, right? Is the whole idea of... You know, like, streaming services and more... Like, diehard Marvel fans are lunatics, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Delusional. And... You know, Disney's just like... Well, we can just make free money, right? Pretty much. We don't have to put any effort or quality into these shows. We pump them out. We get hella subscriptions, and then boom, get rich.
Yeah, it's
and
so
tarnish the MCU. So like, yeah, I don't know.
And it's like
they really
movies,
need to slow it down.
Like there's DC movies coming out this year that like legitimately look promising, but like they're kind of just drowned out. Like the first Shazam was a pretty solid movie. Like, it was pretty good. So, second one, it's like there's hopes for. Like, Fury of the Gods, like, it's getting completely drowned out. Aquaman made over $1 billion. Aquaman 2 being drowned out. It's like, is this another strategy, too? Like, try to just drown out the competition by releasing stuff every month? Like, what is going on? It's like, and it still didn't even work because, like, your big thing is the multiverse, and you release Multiverse of Madness about the same time as Batman. It's like, sure, you made more money, but, like, people like the Batman movie, like, seeing 10 times more than Multiverse of Madness would be too little. Like, people do not like that movie, and they love Batman.
Yeah. it just sucks. They're literally just like pumping out more and more movies, and the quality is just dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this boy's snacking.
I'll get it eventually. I got it.
Actually.
It's broken.
But yeah, it's just like, I really want them to slow down. Give us some new characters, right? Like, I just don't get why they wrap things up with Endgame. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They left a couple threads open, right? With like Captain America passing on to Falcon, things like that, right? But very loose. Like, the only two storylines that should have been continued after Endgame were finishing up Spider-Man, of course, and then Captain America and the Winter Soldier Falcon. I think are the only two storylines that should have been continued. But it's like, why are we getting Black Widow? Why are we getting these garbage Doctor Strange movies, right? Like, why are we getting these things?
It's like, I don't know.
Why are we getting another Black Panther? Why are we getting another Ant-Man? Like,
Doctor Strange, I think, is understandable because it's like exploring the multiverse is like setting up their next big thing, right?
Sure.
So,
but then it's like, why? It just seems like they weren't even using that movie as like a setup for something big, because nothing literally happened in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, nothing happened to set up some new overarching story.
Yeah, I agree.
It just feels like everything is so like loose, but so connected at the same time. But nothing actually overarching is happening anymore.
Looking at it with like just setting up the multiverse, it's like you can get rid of everything except WandaVision.
Doctor Strange, of course.
Doctor Strange. What if? No Way Home, and then Loki, and the Ant-Man movie coming out, Quantumania.
Sure.
6 movies out of 15.
Yeah.
Like,
which is just like, it just doesn't make sense. It's just like, what's the point of the other one? Where you look back at, pretty much any other phase, right? Like, these all had setup. Like, obviously, phase 1, mostly character introductions, other than the Avengers, of course. But even the Avengers is setting up Thanos and shit. 10 years or whatever, seven years before that story gets concluded, right? Phase 2, it's like so much setup. Like, as bad as Thor: The Dark World is, it has, Infinity Stones. Like, they start introducing Infinity Stones in phase
Loki's
2.
death, which is sets up him being Odin and taking over Asgard.
Yeah. And but it starts setting up the Infinity Stones in phase 2 a lot.
Yeah,
because you have obviously, Ultron, Vision, Thor: The Dark World with the reality. You have Guardians, the power.
Yeah. The Tesseract has already been established in phase 1.
Yeah, exactly. That was at the end of phase 1 too. With the Avengers like setting up.
Captain America.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that, but you're right. But again, it's just like there was still an overarching thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it felt like these movies are they're still leading to something, even though they're their own stories. They're all building to something. Phase 4, it just feels like it's not building to anything.
It's really those 5 movies or those 6 movies that are talking about the multiverse, but it's like even that, it's not doing it very well.
Even then, it's like they haven't.
Yeah, they're not doing it well.
Yeah, they're not like even introducing some like new big bad that's like an overarching thing.
Loki's the only one that did.
Yeah, but like Multiverse of Madness didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And it just sucks because it's like if that's the path they wanted to go, then fucking send it exclusively on that path. But it's like, it's like, then why are they doing all these other shows and like just oversaturating the fan base? Like, I think it's just making everything less enjoyable.
Yeah, if you look,
too much to watch.
If you look at it, it's like they're setting up Kang the Conqueror be the next big bad, because he's established in Loki. He's going to be in Quantumania. There's two movies.
Yeah.
So, like, clearly the multiverse is the big thing with this phase. 6 movies out of 15. If we're talking about, like, everything that's future released, a third of the movies, like, about a third, maybe even a quarter, are actually establishing your big thing with this phase. That is problematic.
Yeah. And what sucks, too, is it's like, even if they decided not to do this multiverse route and just go for kind of just like a soft reboot, you know what I mean? With Shang-Chi, maybe introduce some new characters, right?
Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight. Like, even make that, this show was good. But with things like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, build up a new character list and start a new overarching plot. And I think that would be good, right? They slow it down. Give us the Shang-Chi, don't do Black Widow, but do a different character, right? Like, but more like character-driven stories again.
Yeah.
Like kind of quote-unquote redo Phase 1, not like to a T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like slow it back down. Introduce these characters to us. Obviously, have a couple of the remaining characters. Obviously, Spider-Man needs to be wrapped up a little bit,
Yeah, the Captain America, making Falcon
story.
Captain America.
Yeah, that. Doctor Strange obviously still has some stuff going on, right? And like, I think that's fine and can help tie it back into an overarching theme, but it's just like, they haven't done that. And it just feels so weird, because you watch a movie, I mean, you watch something like Thor, right? And it's like, what was the point? You know what I mean? Like it was made to be its own movie, but it wasn't good as its own movie, and it doesn't even serve a purpose in the overarching anything. You know what I mean? Where it's like, as bad as Thor: The Dark World is, at least it introduces something that becomes a pretty big part of the whole, theme or the whole plot.
And it is a huge driving point for his character, because like,
yeah,
his mom dies.
Yeah,
he watches his brother's, fake death, but he thinks it's real.
Yeah,
so it's like a huge factor of like his loss.
Yeah. So
it's like now he's just joking around the entire time. Like,
it's like, as bad as the movie is, like, stuff happens, right? Like, stuff actually happens to progress the plot. What happens in Thor: Love and Thunder? Like, he has a kid now.
Yeah,
it's like, okay. And that was just like right at the end of the movie, just
and
kind
also,
of for out of nowhere, really.
Also, in Infinity War, it's established that like Stormbreaker will literally like tear people apart. How is this kid holding it?
She a baller, bro. I don't know.
Like, Captain America, alright, if they're worthy, can possess the power of Thor. Alright, so him, like, grabbing Stormbreaker on accident makes sense. But here's the other problem with Love and Thunder. How come he cares about Mjolnir when in Endgame he literally, no, give me that. You have the little one. Like, he didn't care about Mjolnir in Endgame. Why does he care now? And, like, the complete loss of his character is, I feel like, is a result of Fat Thor. Like, yes, he was joking around and stuff in Ragnarok, but he was still a character. And that was made clear in Infinity War, where he he went through huge amounts of loss and stuff, too. Like, his brother legitimately died. He lost half of his people after his planet just blew up.
Yeah.
Like, he was still an actual character. Fat Thor was just a joke. So they're just running with that still and making him a joke still.
Yeah, I completely agree. Where it's just like, they haven't done anything too much in Phase 4, specifically with like Doctor Strange, Thor, Black Widow, right? Where there's just like, they're not really doing anything with these characters, and in a lot of cases they're going backwards. Like with Thor, like I think they went backwards with his character, right? Like, his character was, Thor 1, it was okay. Thor 2, terrible movie. Ragnarok, really good. But throughout all of them, he was still progressing as a character. And I think, similar things can be said about, like, Captain America during his movies. Where it's like, the first Captain America, it's good. But, Winter Soldier, really good. Civil War, pretty good. and he's still progressing as a character. Same with Iron Man.
Yeah, it's like Captain America. You get the best glimpse of evolution because he went from like blindly trusting, like good at heart and everything, like blindly trusting the government. Winter Soldier, the government program he was working for ended up being corrupted and torn apart, and then Civil War is literally a result. Like, he doesn't sign the Accords on the result of what happened in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It is a direct cause, and his character changes.
Yeah.
Thor, I mean, he changes, but it's like, it's just a retcon of his personality for a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just like, they turned him into a joke character in Endgame. You know what I mean? Like, they turned him into Fat Thor. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he had
jokes
really
and stuff.
good. He had a really good, moment in that. No, that's not what I'm saying.
With Endgame?
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. Like, Ragnarok, like, I get why they went to the comedy thing. I thought that was good, but he still had character progression in that movie. Like, the comedy wasn't the driving point of his character. It was just a bonus.
Yeah, really the only in Endgame, the only like more serious thing was like you can be depressed and still be worthy. That was it.
Yeah.
And even then, like, Rocket was slapping him, mocking him for crying. Like, as soon as he gets back, Rhodey's making fun of him for being fat. It's like what the heck?
Yeah,
they literally just made him a joke.
Yeah, it sucks. I hope. I just don't see. Like, there's no feasible way that Marvel can kind of get back on track within the next like 2 or 3 years.
I think they just have to wrap up the phase and calm down in phase 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we just have to bear with it another 2-3 years of kind of just mediocrity. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably going to be a couple of good movies.
I think like a Captain America 4 will be good.
Yeah, but then for the most part, it's just going to be just kind of meh. Like, meh to mid type of movies, which sucks. It's just so sad. I mean, jumping back into the list though, I think we've both pretty much given our 2, 3, 4. So I had at worst phase 4, then phase 2, then phase 1, and then I think we both have
phase 3.
Yeah, phase 3 is the best phase. I think that's
like,
pretty standard to say.
Yeah, like if you're a heart attack, bro, it's okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, like Ragnarok, great. I listed it as 78. Civil War, 77. Infinity War is like an 80.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Infinity War it's either that or Winter Soldier that are my favorite movie.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know which.
Those are both spectacular movies. Guardians 2, definitely not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But it's still solid.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like, nothing there is really bad. It's like, I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then like next is like Captain Marvel, which, as I mentioned earlier,
First Spider-Man was okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot. The first 2 were both in phase 3. Because Far From Home was in phase 3 too.
Yeah, it was the last one. Yeah.
That one was just like not. That one was like decent, but like the
okay.
first one was. First one is about on par with Doctor Strange and Black Panther for me.
Yeah.
Good introduction movies,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, literally the only terrible movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, it's
like
like
Captain Marvel's just kind of.
Captain Marvel is decent, I guess. Like, characters aren't that good, enjoyability's not that good, but like there are some redeeming qualities in it. I mean, mainly Samuel L. Jackson, but it's like there's still something there. Ant-Man and the Wasp, there's nothing there.
Yeah. But I mean, like, just phase 3 as a whole is just so much better than the other phase. Like,
True.
Like, it's hard for us to even pick 3 bad movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, other than, obviously, Ant-Man and Captain Marvel would be, like, the 2 lowest. But other than that, like, I can't really say that.
The third lowest, or like the third worst.
Like, I can't. It would
is
probably for me, it would probably be Guardians 2. Maybe Far From Home.
For me, it's Far From Home. It's at 64, which is literally like some of the better things in Phase 4.
Yeah.
They get 64%, and that is one of the worst things The third
Yeah.
worst. And yeah, like
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
Phase 3 was so goated.
yeah,
Like, just kicking on, like,
was it
it's 2016.
2016 to
Started
2018, 2019.
2019.
2019.
So it's like, we started with Captain America Civil War, which was already, like, it was heat.
Yeah.
Because we're coming off of pretty much the last big movie was Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there was Ant-Man after that, but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
big movie was Age of Ultron. And it was like, that wasn't great, but it definitely left a lot to be developed with Iron Man and Captain America specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it left a lot there. And it came to a head in Civil War. And I remember that shit was crazy. It's like, are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man? I felt like I was like in 2010 Twilight moment. Are you Team Edward or Jacob?
True.
Like, that's what it literally felt like. And as cringe as it is, it was kind of hype.
True. And it's like, but now, now look at it.
Yeah.
But now, everyone who is Team Jacob, they Team Edward now because he's Batman.
Real.
And then that coming out the same year as Batman v Superman, though, was really the only negative thing because they were the exact same movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
One of them was just done better.
Yeah.
And
that was Batman v Superman.
True. Absolutely true. Yeah, and then Suicide Squad came out that year too, and it's like really those two movies are the reason people were just shitting on DC.
Yeah.
And coming out the same year is like,
Dude, Phase 3, you gotta think, right?
It starts off with that. Then we get the first Doctor Strange, which I really like.
it was good, yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
Good introduction movie.
Then then you get Guardians 2, which wasn't as good as the first. Not terrible, just kind of okay.
Yeah, it was,
But
pretty,
then,
it was
and then
pretty
you
good.
get the first Spider-Man movie, which I'm like
Also, pretty good.
good. And then you get Thor Ragnarok,
Great.
pretty damn
Yeah,
good.
that one's definitely
Then
good.
we get Black Panther,
Pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Then we get Infinity War.
Goat. The amounts of memes.
Goat.
The amount of
Goat.
memes. Because, like, the way I look at things, like, with movies, is, like, memes come from things that are either very good or very bad. And Infinity War was definitely the former.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah, so the memes came from, like, cheesy things, but, like, yeah, like, cheesy lines and stuff. It's like Spider-Man 1. No one hates Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. It is cheesy, and it is campy, and it's, like, objectively not very good. But
it's
like,
good.
but the cheesiness just, it makes
good.
it brilliant.
It's good, yeah.
I just don't, how did Sam Raimi make that genius and then make Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, it's so weird. And then, after Infinity War, Phase 3 peaked with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
True.
Peak.
Objectively, just peak.
Now, it's pretty much after Infinity War is when it started kind of, like, fading a little bit,
Yeah.
because then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and Far From Home,
Yeah.
which were, like, the bottom three. But then you also have Endgame in there,
Yeah.
which is obviously
It's good. It's
pretty good.
It's
yeah.
good. It's hype. Enjoyability is definitely like
Yeah.
a 9 out of 10, but like everything else
Yeah.
is meh.
Yeah.
Time travel is the worst
No,
plot
that's
thing.
what I'm saying. It's another one where it's like Spider-Man No Way Home, right? It's the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're watching it in the theater, that's just crazy. That shit's hype. Captain America says Mjolnir.
True.
It's fucking crazy. It's
hype.
so good. It's hype. I am Iron Man. Psh, hype. But then you start looking at it, you're like, why the fuck were they time traveling?
Yeah.
Doesn't that like fuck up everything?
And then it did.
And then yeah, it did. It's like oh, okay.
Yeah. There are more memes to come out of it though with Thanos.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we both agree. Phase 3, best Marvel phase.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect amount where it wasn't oversaturated like it is now. So I think we said it's averaging a movie every like 4 months.
It is really 11 movies. It's like that is the maximum amount you could get without milking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did, that is the perfect amount that they could have done. And they had like a good gap, like a 2-movie gap between Infinity War and Endgame. Like that's good because like the end credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp like further elaborated on things happening. Like Ant-Man's stuck in the quantum realm. Captain Marvel is in Endgame, albeit for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, to just win.
She literally gets punched out of the movie.
Yeah. Well, she like pulls up, wins, and then just gets bopped.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot Phase 4 and Miss Marvel. That goes to show.
W. Show. Greatest show of all time, ever.
Everyone loves it. It's the highest rating Marvel thing on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's kind of crazy. It's just a kid. Well, it's probably... Isn't it just a kid's show, though? Like, isn't it meant for kids?
Kinda, yeah.
That's probably why. Because I'm sure they... You know... it's for kids.
It starts, it's like... Yeah, then Captain Marvel showed up and she whooped Thanos' butt, and then people clip that with like what actually happened of him punching her out of the movie.
Yeah. It's silly.
Dude, yeah, but Phase 3 definitely the best, and then
it's so good.
It's so funny because you get like with Phase 1 and Phase 2. The bar is like, it's up here. Like, it's like mid-level, a little above mid-level. And it's like, it's riding steady. And then, like, Phase 3 happens, and it goes whoop, and it goes up. And it's like, the pace Phase 4 is on, it's plummeting. It is plummeting.
It really is sad.
Yeah. Which is like, yeah, Phase 4 will probably end up being worse than Phase... Or definitely will end up being worse than Phase 1 for me. But, like... As of right now, it is literally ahead by a hair.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's only because of the shows too.
Yeah. It like, yeah, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight.
Yeah, kinda slightly carry it.
The hype of No Way Home is like they're keeping it above water like level. At the pace it's on, they're gonna start drowning.
It's just like the MCU right now is just in a burning house, but they have like a single bucket of water that they're able to kind of just keep the fire from engulfing them.
Yeah, but they're choosing to take the bucket of gasoline and throw it on instead.
Yeah, they have a bucket of water, and then they have a 50-gallon drum of gasoline.
And they're just taking the gas
And then every now and then they sprinkle a little bit of water to keep the fire down. And like gasoline. It's rough.
They're swimming in the ocean, and their arms are tired. And instead of getting out on a boat, they're taking 50-pound dumbbells out and wrapping it around their ankles, and then trying to swim it.
Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, and like we said, I do think DC is kind of coming back. It is more of the...
Yeah, because, like, Aquaman, I think, is a little... It has the factor of campy goodness, kind of like Spider-Man, where it's objectively not that good, but it's campy, you know? Not on nearly amount of the level. Like, right? Not on nearly as high of the spectrum. Like, it's pretty good. Shazam is
Shazam was
campy and good, like the Spider-Man movies. The Suicide Squad, I think, was a really good movie. Peacemaker, I mean, I know you haven't seen it yet, but people literally call it Peakmaker on everything because it is so good. The Batman,
really
also
good,
peak movie. Like, and then it really only has the capacity to go up.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
with its sequels.
What else has been announced? Like, obviously, Batman sequel, Black Adam,
Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman 2.
I guess I can just check real quick too.
There's 4 movies. Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's another one. Flashpoint. The Flash.
I wonder what's gonna happen with that though.
I think they're gonna. I mean, they're still gonna do it, but Ezra Miller's fired after it because, like, at this point in development,
yeah, they can't recast.
They can't recast or anything, and like canceling it would be a huge loss of money.
Well, I think that's just what's gonna suck too, though. Is it's like they have Aquaman,
Mm-hmm.
which has Amber Turd, which everybody hates.
I think they cut her out of it completely.
Oh, did they? Okay, that's
I think
good.
so. If not, they reduced her to like 10 minutes, which like I'll take
That's
it.
what
I guess.
I thought, is that they just reduced her scenes.
I think they reduced it to 10 before the case was settled. I think after it was settled, they cut her completely.
Yeah, okay. Because I was just thinking, like, that and then The Flash, like, even if the movies are good, people won't like them because they have bad people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, really the only bad movie that has come out with DC has been Wonder Woman 84. That one was not good. Because, like, even looking at the Zack Snyder version of Justice League, it's like, definitely, it's not perfect. It is very Zack Snyder-y, but it is a lot better.
A bad girl.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that one.
Batgirl.
With Joss Whedon making it.
Yeah. And then, Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I said that. The dude from Cobra Kai that plays Miguel is Blue Beetle. Sholo is something like that.
Jolo Melidueña.
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, I'm not looking forward, especially like with what Joss Whedon did to the Justice League movie, like the theatrical cut.
Yeah, it was.
Because like Zack Snyder version is not like phenomenal. It's like probably about like Spider-Man: Homecoming to like Endgame ranking. Like a 74 to a 76%, which is good. But like the theatrical cut is like not even watchable. Like I can't even watch it. It's bad.
It's really bad.
Like Joss Whedon literally just sabotaged it. It's not good, and like everyone started leaving because of it. Like Ray Fisher, like he did a bunch of racist, like treated him really poorly. Was like really racist towards him. Locked Gal Gadot in her dress room because she didn't want Ezra Miller to land on her chest because she thought that joke was really inappropriate and stupid, which it was. And he's done he's done the exact same thing with Scarlett Johansson in Age of Ultron, which people don't like. So I don't know why they're letting him make Batgirl when he has a strange obsession with dudes' faces landing on girls' chests.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like Batgirl, and then Robin's gonna like pull
every
up.
time.
Land.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Every time.
I'm so sorry. How did this happen?
It sucks. I do not like Joss Whedon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, first Avengers movie literally carried him to fame, and it wasn't even that great. It was just like this has never been done before. That is really, and like the characters being likable is what made it so memorable.
Yeah.
But like everything after that he's made, everyone's kind of seen right through it. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one. But like Blue Beetle, obviously Batman sequel, Shazam, Black Adam, all looking good. I think the Suicide Squad is getting a sequel.
Yeah, probably.
Peacemaker's getting another season. I know that. DC's definitely been a lot more on the come up than.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for a new change of pace. Because I think both of us are kind of just burnt out of Marvel.
Yeah.
For the most part. We've talked about it. Just the saturation is just horrendous.
Yeah.
It's just getting to be too much.
And it's like, I don't know. I think it's something about, like, the fact that these movies and these shows are paced out with DC. And that, I mean, it's a little confusing that right now they're in their own, like, separate universes and doing their own. Not all of them are in their own universe, but, like, they're doing their own things. It's also a little refreshing that you can just watch one thing and not have to, like, worry about when in a timeline it is. I'd probably rank like everything DC's doing like accumulatively Probably around like what I put Phase 2 at like a 68%.
Yeah, you know, what I like about DC too, like right now. I guess Joker 2.
Oh,
Technically.
how can I forget about Joker? Joker was really good
I
too.
wonder why it wasn't on the list. I guess it's not part of the DCEU, so.
Yeah, it's sequel.
Yeah.
It's sequel with Lady Gaga.
Yeah, we'll
Being
see
a
what happens.
musical.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a musical. But what I was trying to say is just like, you know, when I'm watching the Batman, I'm not thinking like, where's Wonder Woman during this? Where's Superman? What are they up to? Why are they not helping?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And really is refreshing. Like I do like these kind of
Also, it's like
just
even
these own stories
like
that can work independently of each other.
and like the side characters in it are also memorable and likable. Like Commissioner Gordon, I really liked Commissioner Gordon in it. I thought he was like, at moments he was a good comic relief, but he was also like a fleshed out character.
Even in like Chris Pine, I forgot his character's name in Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, I think the first Wonder Woman was just like okay,
Yeah,
though it wasn't like anything super great.
Even like his character was still
Yeah,
pretty decent.
yeah. I think his name was Steve.
Yeah, like Lois Lane. Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, replacing Henry Cavill as Superman.
GG.
Literally like a perfect Superman. They just had to give him a script.
Yep.
It literally was a peak
Here
Superman.
you go. You are perfect Superman. Here's your script.
Bye. You're fired.
You must say Dudu Gaga. And then he goes out, performs it the best he possibly can. You're fired.
You're fired. These movies are bad, and we think it's because of you.
You're fired. Your dialogue in these movies sucked, and it's not our fault. It's like, oh, okay.
Dude, hey, did you see like when Batman came out, the amount of like Snyder lovers that were just hating on it?
No.
It was so funny. Like, people are like, yeah, Ben Affleck's so much better, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Like, I thought he was
Really?
solid for, like, a big bruiser Batman, but, like, Robert Pattinson, just way better.
Yeah.
Like, Robert Pattinson's a better Batman than Christian Bale. Like, I do
Yeah,
not care.
I
People,
agree.
I've seen TikToks, like, of people just disagreeing. It's like, no, he is better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything you see, like, as soon as the mask comes off, he's a lot less confident. Like, they are establishing that this is really the only Batman movie that is established that Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yep.
Because, like, Riddler literally says it. When he has the mask on, he can be who he really is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, peak movie. I haven't seen anything like that with, like, Phase 4.
No, I agree. There hasn't been... Phase 4 hasn't had a spectacular movie.
Yeah.
We haven't had an Infinity War. We haven't had a Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? We haven't had an Iron Man 1, even.
We haven't even had a Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
we haven't
like-
had, like, an Iron Man 1, a Ragnarok, a Guardians 1. Like, we
Yeah.
haven't... You know, the closest
Where it's
thing
like-
is, like, Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a good movie, but it's not spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's definitely some issues with it, you know? It's definitely, like, not as good as those other movies we just listed. So it's like, I don't know. I hope something can be good. I really do.
I'm not really holding out hope for a lot of the movies.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the best movie will probably end up being like maybe Captain America 4.
Yeah, probably.
Because like, yeah, Ironheart, Blade, even like Fantastic Four. It's like Fantastic Four maybe, but like not
Yeah,
likely.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man, unlikely.
The fact that they wait, oh my gosh, Multiverse Madness, wasting John Krasinski, because like, yeah, he's not going to be the actor for like Fantastic Four. It's like, really?
Yeah,
Why?
it is lame.
Like, really, you just wasted him just for like, haha, Wanda Strong.
It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, person who held entire town hostage is strong. You have to tell me this way.
By killing new character, that could be awesome.
Oh, killing Professor X for the 12th time in his existence. Wow.
12th time this year, bro.
Like,
Oh, yeah, it is unlucky. And, like, I think Black Panther 2 is gonna suck, bro. Because isn't gonna follow, like, the little sister?
probably. Did you see the leaks?
I
though?
hated her in everything she's been in,
Did
too.
you see the leaks?
No.
Doctor Doom's gonna be in the end credits.
Okay.
It's like
So setting up for Fantastic Four.
either that or it's gonna be him or Kang the Conqueror is the
That's
big bad.
The big bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
Doctor Doom could definitely be a big bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like,
I mean, he's arguably, like, the biggest bad, right? Maybe Thanos.
him, Kang the Conqueror, and Galactus are like the biggest three.
And Thanos, I think.
And Thanos is up there, but like up until the movies, not really.
Yeah.
He literally got arrested by police. Like,
But he also did get the Infinity
Yeah.
Stones in the comics.
I mean,
some
but
shit up.
in the comics, he was just trying to bang a skeleton.
Yeah,
so
he was gonna
yeah.
bang literal death.
yeah, no wonder they had to kill her in Ragnarok because he would have been making googly eyes at her.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Huh? Yeah.
That's why Thanos pulled up and killed Loki because he was mad that they killed his waifu.
True.
He's angry.
Yeah, but looking at like the list of like the DC stuff that's gonna come out, it's like Batgirl. I could see probably being the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it probably being like Loki, Black Widow level, where it's like a few redeemable qualities, like 60 to 65%.
Yeah, I can see
there.
the Flash being kind of just meh too.
I think it really depends because I mean, having 3 Batmans in it could be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton being back if they do it right is really good. It's like even the things that it's like I'm not really looking forward to, I still think could definitely be better than some of the stuff in Phase 4. Like
stuff
Blue
in Phase
Beetle,
4,
I'm not
yeah.
super looking forward to, but like, you know, first of all, they're not doing the suit in CGI. If you look up the Blue Beetle suit, it's like an actual thing, and it looks
Yeah,
good.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
It looks good. And I still think it could probably be like Shang-Chi level of a movie. And it's like I'm not really looking forward to it. Black Adam, I think, will probably be around there too.
Yeah. I think Shazam 2 would be pretty solid.
Yeah, Shazam 2 will probably be around there.
Obviously, Batman 2 probably going to be crazy.
Batman 2, it has the setup to be better than Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because like,
Which would be insane.
yeah, comparing like Batman Begins to the Batman for me, it's like the Batman's better.
Yeah.
It's only a little worse than Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So the bar is set high, but I had the bar set pretty high for the Batman because I've been looking forward to it for 5 years, and it just kept being pushed back.
And it lived up to it. Lived up to that bar and exceeded it.
It really did. It was a fantastic movie. The Suicide Squad. I mean, the bar was pretty low, but it
was good.
That was a good one.
Considering Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
rough.
It's like Disney fired James Gunn and then DC went, we take him. And Disney went, wait, hold up.
Wait a second.
You're rehired.
Yeah. So dumb.
And yeah, he made one of the better movies for Marvel and DC now. So like,
For sure.
out of characters that like nobody had heard of.
Yeah.
Gosh, and it's like I figured a lot of the people in that movie were gonna die, but like, wow, like killing off Captain Boomerang, who was like one of the better characters of the first one, like one of the few redeeming things in like the first 15
Yeah.
minutes. I was like,
Pete
wow.
Davidson.
Yeah, head just exploded.
Oh, the Weasel tease, bro.
Oh, dude, he's still alive.
I know, thank God he lived.
You can't kill the weasel, dude.
Yeah, but they teased it, and I had a heart attack.
I know, dude. I freaking know. I was worried King Shark was gonna die.
Yeah,
Like
actually, I agree.
at that end, I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
that sucked.
King Shark is peak though.
King Shark is dope.
He's
Stallone.
one of the more peak than Groot. I mean, I love Groot, but King Shark
Pretty badass.
King Shark reads books.
He do read books.
I might have to rewatch that movie.
It's good. It's
That's a
good.
solid one.
Yeah.
You have to. I can't remember if you have HBO Max, but I'll have to give.
I do right now, but
You have to watch. You have to watch Peacemaker.
I might.
It's good. It's good. It's
I'm gonna start grinding all the Studio Ghibli movies.
because like it's 6. I think it's like 6 to 8 episodes. So it's like
Yeah, it's not too bad.
yeah, if you take a day out of take out a day and you'll get through it all, and it's really good. James Gunn's just really good because like the worst movie I've seen so far has been Guardians 2, and it's like it was still good. It's just not as good as these ones that are like
No,
some of the
that
best.
was like the weirdest like fire to me from Marvel. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I think a comment about a baby or something like 10 years ago.
No, it was something from like 10 years ago. And
On Twitter.
It wasn't even like bad. Like it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but I just remember it wasn't that bad. And then they fired him for it, which is just kind of like just dumb.
Hold on. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, like I want to say it wasn't that bad. Why was fired? Oh, blah blah blah. James Gunn is after a batch of social media went unearthed. It was something with the Me Too thing, but what did he say?
Retweet Peter Alton. I like when little boys touch me in my silly place. Shh. Just made a joke about ass raping my friend when she was asleep. The Expendables was so manly. I fucked the shit out of a little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town.
Yeah, it's not to say I'm better, but I am very, very different than I was.
Wondering which Disneyland character would be the worst to get raped by. I think it's Goofy, but Sleepy would suck too.
It's like kind of based.
kind of.
Kind
I mean,
of
Goofy would be going the entire time. So,
You know what I mean? But like, at the time it was like when he said those things.
2010
Obviously,
or so.
yeah, they were edgy, but like,
Okay. Like,
yeah, it was like whatever, right? It's just typical edgy humor. So it was like it made no sense that he got fired for that 10 years later when he wasn't doing that anymore because the times changed and he realized that it's not okay to say those things nowadays.
mm-hmm.
So it was just such a dumb fire, and now they're like,
Oh wait, you can still make good movies? No.
bring him back.
They went. The opposition hired him. We have to bring him back.
It's like, what about the tweets though? I thought you as a company stood against that. What tweets? What tweets? What are you talking about?
We as a company stand against that.
Yeah.
You guys forgot how you started?
Yeah. It's like, oh, huh. So
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Donald Duck was reading Mein Kampf in one of your animations.
Interesting. Cancel Donald Duck. Donald Duck, you're fired. Dumbass.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Mickey Mouse, you're fired. Bozo, you're done.
I cannot wait for him to go to public domain, dude.
There is gonna be some shit.
I don't even think they'll let
Have
that
you
happen, dude.
heard about the Winnie the Pooh things that are happening? They're making like a horror movie.
Blood and Honey is what it's
yeah,
called.
bro. where he gets like that they're all stuck there and they would just like start murdering to eat. That's
Christopher Robin leaves. They eat Eeyore.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
Yep.
Good stuff.
I cannot wait for that to happen. I don't think Disney will even let that happen.
They can't stop it though.
I don't know if they can like rebuy the rights to it.
No, so the way it worked was basically a copyright. It only lasts, I want to say it was 50 years or 75. You know, just
with
whatever.
the Winnie the Pooh age, probably 75.
Yeah, whatever, right? Like a period of within around that range.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's just you can't ever copyright it again. It's just public use, because the whole point of like a copyright is so that you can get like a head start. Like if you have a new product, right? So that nobody else can just steal your product, and then you know what I mean. Like if we made a product and then copyrighted it, and then if like Amazon or something, a company with a bunch of money, is just like, oh wow, that's a good product, and then just steals it and makes it, right? Or it's like if we had, you know, a 5-year head start, then if our product was good, we could probably build a huge company before somebody like Amazon would be able to make a rival product.
Yeah.
So it was like that was the whole idea. So now that it's open use, it's like they already got their, you know what I mean, they got their head start with it.
Yeah.
So everybody is still gonna be like, that's a Disney character, you know, like nobody's gonna be like it's not. But now other people can actually do things with it outside of the Disney license.
That's gonna be so funny, dude.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be cool.
I cannot wait to watch. It's gonna be like what? It's gonna be like a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse porno or something.
Yes. Mickey.
A crime documentary with Mickey Mouse characters.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah. Overall,
Marvel kind of mid.
Yeah, kind of mid.
Phase 3,
on the
pretty
decline.
good. Yeah,
They're
Phase
rapid.
3, pretty good. Phase 4, pretty bad.
Pretty bad. DC on the up and up. Could be better.
DC
And
on the up. Let's see.
it's like literally. I'm pretty sure we both have made the claim that this will most likely to be what happens after Endgame.
Yeah.
And it has lived up.
Yeah. It was literally like not that Endgame was the peak movie, but that just kind of the MCU like peaked with Endgame. You know what I mean? Like not that Endgame is the best movie, but in terms of like where they can go and what they can do, it just kind of peaked with that, where it's like, you know, there's just not much they can do from here without running into a lot of issues unless they either restart or follow a new coherent story, which they're doing neither of. So it's just, and it was just what's to expected.
True. Money.
Yep. They saw that, oh wow, these Disney Plus, we could just drop 80 shows and 500 movies in Phase 4. Okay.
Money time.
And these Marvel stands, they eating that shit up. It is crazy, bro. They're like pigs rolling in their own shit. I don't get it. It's like, and then they're like, damn, this is great. I love this. So, what are you doing? You're covered in shit. Go take a shower.
And they're like, no, and they wipe it off and they eat it.
Yeah.
And then,
I love this. I love this. And then Daddy Marvel comes with a semi-truck just full of shit and just dumps it in the playpen. And they're like, oh, thank you.
It's like they're good. They're better movies. They take this shit and they cover it in sprinkles and go, here's something good, and just whip it at you.
Yeah, you get flavored shit.
Alright.
It is truly.
Hey, what?
That wraps it up. Spectated, whatever it is, 14, 15, something.
16, whatever.
Something teens.
105,
yeah.
you know, something like that.
72-year anniversary. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah. Next week, I don't think we have...
We have nothing planned. I'm sure something will come up with Deshaun Watson again.
Yeah. We'll find something for sure.
There's always something.
Yeah. And then obviously, you know, in a couple of weeks, we'll have more to talk about with sports again.
Yeah.
Of course.
That we will.
We'll have probably some more NBA trade stuff Probably give that another like 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks, something like that.
See what's going on.
Yeah, football.
Football probably it's going to be starting
We got like 50 days
till regular or pre.
till pre.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not too far away. MLB, probably give that another month or so before we get a nice little update on that.
Yeah.
Because in like a month, we'll be getting pretty close to kind of telling who's gonna end up where. I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Playoffs start in September, I want to say, like late September.
World Series is in October, so yeah.
Usually World Series like end of October, early November, so playoffs are probably in September. So if we have another month, mid-August, that'll probably be pretty close to wrapping up.
At that point, I'll be worried about football, so it's like...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be plenty, but we'll find some other things to do in the meantime.
Talk about more dish-sexual Salt Watson.
Dish-sexual Salt Watson. It must have been a Deshaun Watson.
Well,
real men don't rape.
Oh shit! Must have been Deshaun Watson. Next week, we're talking about that Young Gravy leak.
Oh my god! You just link the video under the YouTube video too.
He went smile. He's like some grinning ear.
Goofy. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for listening.
We'll see you.
You the goats.
Bye, Craig. Fake Craig.
Bye, Fake Craig.